Hey guys, Krell Cooper here with On the Black, and I am joined tonight by Dan Udmundson of the Texas Rangers blog, Chicken Fried Baseball. What's going on, Dan?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Before we get started, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about the blog and how it got its name?
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Dallas in Connecticut. Spent about equal parts of my life in both areas. Started out from Dallas, or became a Texas Rangers fan. Moved up to Connecticut, 1988. 9 years old, and continued to follow the team up there. Telling you, I used to have to listen to WFAN back then for the every 15-minute updates on the scores, and there was a sports phone back then. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you remember that. But,
no, I don't remember that one.
I do that. I would look in Newsday because that was the only paper that would actually show updated box scores and give good information on the Rangers. So anyway, basically living up on the East Coast, maybe more of a fan. So that was back when the Yankees were terrible, and the Rangers were actually better than the Yankees back then.
So
there's a good rivalry. There's a great rivalry, and I used to talk all sorts of trash with my Yankee fan friends until the year I graduated high school was '96, and that's when everything kind of turned around, and they beat the Rangers in the playoffs. 3 years out of 4, and but anyway, I'm a diehard Texas Rangers fan. Right now, I'm actually in Massachusetts. My wife is originally from New Jersey and Massachusetts, but I'm all over the place. I operate a call center in the Philippines, like I was telling you before. So I'm there. I was there for about 6 months up until March this year.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I'm in Massachusetts now. Just have to deal with the DirecTV and the MLB package online. So I don't get to go to as many games as I'd like to anymore. I was down in Dallas a couple weeks ago. Got to check out a couple games while I was there. But so basically just live and breathe it all online. I started the blog at the beginning of last year, which is actually a pretty good time. Pretty good timing for the Rangers' sake. It's just something I've always been passionate about, and it's just stuff that I think, and actually just be able to put it down online. It's sort of a journal, if nothing else, So, So and I named it Chicken Fried Baseball just because it was a Texas themed name that would be memorable. So I went with it.
Now, talk to me a little bit about, I guess, your expectations for the team this year, coming off of World Series appearance last year. I'm sure it was disappointing didn't win the World Series, but coming into this year, team from viewing the team from a distance, I guess, from my standpoint, the team I guess is doing pretty good this year. They're in first place. I mean, are you expecting this team to go back to the World Series this year?
I expect them to get back to the playoffs for sure.
Okay.
Last year they had a pretty big lead, but at the same time they hadn't been to the playoffs in a while. So
right.
There was that added element to it. They never won a postseason series, heading into last season. So there was that part of it. So last year was just ridiculously exciting. They went through and beat the Rays and then beat the Yankees and in reality, it was almost anticlimactic when when they got the World Series after that. Like, I was so happy and satisfied with where they were. I mean, obviously wanted them to win the World Series, of course, but in a way, it would almost been overkill. So at least it leaves a little bit left out there, and it was such an exciting season last year. I mean, not going to complain at all, of course. So, but now this year it's a little different. So. They're expected to win. I mean, almost everyone had picked the Rangers to win the West, except towards the end, I think a few people started picking Oakland. It became kind of a trendy pick towards the end of spring training. But
right.
Yeah, so now it's theirs to lose. So it's almost like if they don't win the division, it would be just a huge disappointment. So I expect them to. I think they will. When they, if and when they get into the playoffs, that's a whole other issue. So the thing about this year is they've been good. They just haven't been great, and really, no team really has. Outside of Philadelphia has done really well, and the Red Sox have picked it up. But this is one. It's a weird year, and there aren't many standout teams, and there aren't many really bad teams. And the Rangers obviously are a part of that. So, so it's just have to hope they get the playoffs, and then just hope it works. It's tough to expect to know what to expect once October comes around.
Yeah, you're right. Some of it is luck once you kind of get there. You do need a little luck there on the way once you get in, because once you're in, any of the four teams can kind of win it. Now, obviously, the Mets and the Rangers play this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mets making the trip to Texas. You recently talked a little bit on your blog about interleague play, and also about the possible realignment of baseball. Talk a little bit about that and your thoughts on interleague play.
Well, actually, I love interleague play. I mean, whenever you hear any national, commentators or talk about it, they talk about it like it's a horrible thing. I think a lot of people are just kind of old school, I guess, but I like it. And I mentioned in my post that I was sitting there watching a Nationals Orioles game, which is not something I would ordinarily do. and I was watching it, and it was interesting. Like it's interesting to see the National League guys that I don't always watch compared with the American League players that I do, and it always helps when you know half the guys at least fairly well. Yeah. So it makes it easier to follow everything. So and I brought it up in terms of the realignment, which is something that I really want to see baseball do. The interleague play that they're really excited about just because of the revenue it brings is sort of an impetus for them to follow through with some realignment, although there should be other reasons. But for the Rangers' sake, the team in question was the Astros, because of their ownership change right now. They force Jim Crane to move the team to the AL West, which actually there should be a fifth team and not a sixth in the NL Central. They can sort of force his hand, and I think it would just be great for a rivalry. I mean, the way the teams were all set up initially was that, well, you'd have a National League team in one city and an American League team in one city, in the same city, as if a fan would be fans of both teams. But I assuming you're not a Yankees fan.
No way, shape, or form.
and as far as the Astros go, it's different from the Mets and Yankees, of course, but it's just more that I just don't care about them. I don't like them any more than any other team. I don't hate them. I have no reason to. I just don't care. But if they were in the AL West, that would give me reason to. It would make things a lot more exciting. I mean, part of the fun of watching, any sporting event is, rooting against one team, or rooting for one, and it just adds a whole other element to it. So yeah, I mean, that would be a start. I actually think to go further with realignment, but that would be fine for now.
Gotcha. Now, I know you talked about, you just mentioned interleague play. One of the things you like is you get to kind of see players maybe you normally don't always see. Anyone in particular on the Mets that you might be looking forward to seeing play this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump on the Dylan G bandwagon. He's one of those guys. I follow him, but haven't actually watched him pitch a full game. Just other than highlights. I think he went to college at University of Texas Arlington. So, and he's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, I'm sure maybe that'll add a little bit to it.
Yeah, that's right, because he did have some family and friends visit when he pitched earlier this year in Houston. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they'll be closer now.
Yeah.
But just the pitcher himself. I mean, I think he had rotator cuff surgery as a minor leaguer, and then went straight to the majors. I mean, basically a year after, right? Wasn't?
Yeah. I don't remember the particulars on sort of his trip to the majors, but that sounds familiar.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it's just kind of an interesting story. He's just having a great year, and I think from what I understand, without actually watching him pitch a full game, he's the type of pitcher that usually gives the Rangers trouble, and that like a control, off speed stuff kind of guy. They usually do better against the harder throwers. So that should be interesting. I just like to see the story.
Yeah, I hear you. But hey, I'm definitely looking forward to playing the Rangers this weekend. Be an interesting series. I do like the interleague play. I do like going to different cities and seeing the teams play and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll be a good series. I'm sure you're hoping your guys take at least 2 out of 3, and
sure.
I'm hoping the same thing. So,
yeah.
But definitely good luck this series. And for those out there watching, be sure to check Dan out over at Chicken Fried Baseball. Thanks for joining me, Dan.
All right, thank you.
All righty.
All right.